Hello and welcome to Read Right Now. This week I'm really going wild. I've come to Castlewell in Forest Park in County Down and I'm looking for this week's learner. He's only a young guy. His name is Johnny Keating from Letterkenny in County Donegal. And we've come to the park here because we're here to learn some primitive living skills.
In this programme, as well as looking at the technologies of our ancestors, we'll be looking at new technology and using a mobile phone to send and receive text messages. And we'll be looking back at Johnny's experience of education, as well as the part he played in setting up today's primitive living skills course.
So as you know, we're going to be making fire by friction.
Yeah.
The method that we're going to do today is actually a bow drill. We'll start off with carving the drill.
Right.
Course instructor Antonio will be teaching Johnny and Derek some of the skills needed to survive in the wilderness, using nothing but the natural resources available.
This is what it should look like. Yeah?
Right.
Johnny has already started working on the tools needed to make a fire. However, Derek's first task is to find them.
Now, what I have here is no map, and it didn't help me find Johnny in the park, but it will help you with your journey back into learning. It's the free Read Right Now workbook, and if you want to get a copy, all you have to do is find a phone and dial 1-800 20 20 65. That's 1-800 20 20 65 to get your copy of the free Read Right Now workbook, and I can assure you, you will not regret it. I'm kind of reluctant to interrupt both of you, but hello, Antonio.
Hi.
I'm Derek. And hello, Johnny. You keep going.
You know,
I have to ask you a few questions so we can find out about you. I'm told that you had dyslexia.
I was born with dyslexia. I found out I was dyslexic when I was about, I'd say, 5 or 6 or 7. I'm not quite sure. But my older brother had dyslexia as well. That's why my parents found out, noticed it in me.
Yeah.
Kind of at a younger age. So
did it affect you in any way though, or did you just get on with it?
When you know you're dyslexic and you know you're not a great reader and speller and things like that, you have less confidence and you find it harder to do things like essays and stuff like that. There were just things I wouldn't have done. I never told anybody personally. But I know the school must have known somewhere.
Why didn't you tell anybody? Were you shy, embarrassed?
I was kind of embarrassed, and it was kind of like I didn't want anybody to know because that would have made me different. And when you're a teenager and you're in school, you don't want to be set apart as being different. Like.
Dyslexia is a specific learning difficulty that makes it hard for some people to learn to read and write. It affects people in many different areas of their lives. It is only since his adult education course that Johnny has gained a real understanding of why he learnt differently to his classmates.
My brain would work differently because I'm dyslexic. You're not slow, you're not stupid, you're far from it. It's a bad filing system. That's what our head's like. We just get everything and throw it in there, you know, that we learn. And then when we're trying to recall that information, it's just that bit harder to find. I'd have to read things loads of times to even get a wee bit of information to stay. Some of my old school books. It's lucky we have them. I didn't burn them. It was my woodwork one. There was less books and more doing it with your hands, and I'd find it easier to learn that way than reading something out of a book. Just messing in class, trying to get kicked out of class so I wouldn't have to read, you know. I went out of my way to get in trouble, because I was trying to get the attention away from the fact that I thought I was stupid. That's my geography book. Through geography, you could see all the things out in the mountains, especially up around Donegal. It's great, you can actually see it. When you're doing about the sea and about waves and about erosion and all that there, what helped me was coming and looking at it and seeing how it works and how it happens, and it's easier to visualise and it stays in my memory better then. Mum and Dad were great because they got me involved in loads of sports to try and give me that bit of normality, you know, that everybody else seemed to have. And yeah, my mum and dad would have been the big pushers to get me into these things. Well, this is me dad's playing. I started doing my lessons when I was about 16. The dyslexia didn't really affect the flying because pretty much I learned with my eyes and learned with my hands, and I've seen everything I learned, probably seen from my father doing 100 times anyway. So I never really expected that I would be smart enough to go and do it, and then to find out that it's not the hardest thing in the world, it gives you a great sense of confidence. It builds you up, like, slowly but surely. This is the Career Path Centre, and I spent about 7 months down here. The course is called Career Paths for Dyslexia. It's the only one of its kind in Europe. There's nothing like this anywhere else. Everything in this course has positive spin to it. Like, there's believe in yourself, learn from previous experience, things like that there. But like, you wouldn't read them every day, but you see them in front of you and you take them in. All these posters here are goals we set for ourselves when we start the course. And thanks be to God now, I've completed nearly everything I put down for myself. I wanted a decent job, full-time job, so I can start saving to go travelling for a couple of years. So that's all going well.
Try to keep the bow straight, don't go fast with the bow, okay?
I'm beginning to see smoke coming
nice
up there,
and
actually.
Hope that's not my jeans.
How long does it normally take to get the smoke going?
Take a couple of seconds.
Just a couple of seconds, if you're used to doing it.
That's it, yep.
Yeah. And it's a bit wet and damp today as well, which isn't helping, I'm sure.
It shouldn't matter too much.
He should have brought a box of matches with him. Box of old Maguire and Patterson. Something a bit modern. Speaking of which, I've got my mobile phone here, and I've got to send a message because people will be wondering where I am, but I'm pretty tied up here, so I've got to send them a text message telling them that I'm busy.
Mobile phones are everywhere these days, and they're not just for making phone calls. You can also use them to send and receive written messages called text messages. In fact, it's a cheaper way of contacting friends and family than phoning is. This writing tip is about writing text messages. So, how's it done? Have a look at this mobile phone. The keys with these numbers from 2 up to 9 all have 3 or 4 letters on them. The letters are in alphabetical order, so that on the key with the number 2 on it, we have the letters A, B and C. On number 3, we have D, E and F, and so on. If you want the letter A, you press the key once, you press it twice for B, and 3 times for C. So let's have a look at a short message. Imagine you want to write a text to a friend saying something like, "Hi, I'll be busy all day and my phone will be off. I'll call you tonight." Now, there's not much room to write a text message and it takes time to press the letters, so some people try to shorten their messages. The first thing we can do is drop a few of those words. That leaves us with, "Hi, busy all day, phone off, call you tonight." Another shortcut is to drop some of the vowels, so you could shorten the word busy to BSY, or even use a single letter to replace a full word by replacing the word you with the letter U, because they sound the same. And there's another shortcut we can take by using the number 2 instead of writing the letters TO and writing the short version of night as NITE. So now we've got hi, busy all day, phone off, call you tonight. It means the same thing, but it's much quicker to type out than the longer message. Don't forget that this type of language and spelling is fine for text messaging, but don't use it for letters or forms or anywhere else where it's not appropriate. Leading up to the Primitive Living Skills course, Read Write Now made all the arrangements. However, Johnny needed to contact Antonio himself to find out the plan and what was required of him.
Sheila, will you just check this for me, will you?
Sure.
It's just for spellings and stuff.
What is that?
It's I'm going to do this outdoor adventure activity centre thing, so just send them an email, you know.
Good. My name is Johnny Keating. I'll be during the course. We have a spelling mistake there next week. So that email is perfect, Johnny. Going to go ahead and send that?
Yeah, I'll just send that now.
Do you use the web to find out about cheap flights or?
Oh, the web's great because for one, cheap flights you can research absolutely anything. Other things like text messages. If you don't have credit on your phone,
Yeah?
you can register with Vodafone or I think you can do it
No,
with
I don't know
Mooney.
how to do that. You show me how to do that.
Once you register, they'll send you a password. So you can go on and text. I think you get 300 text messages a month, which is handy. Like that saves you a lot of money.
Okay, I have
having the web.
never known about that now. I've never even used it, and I will use it now. Carry on.
It's handy. Right, sure. I might as well when I'm here send this by Antonio and a text message to say that I emailed him, so for him to check and get back to me with some information about it.
Would you do most of your texting on the computer or the mobile phone?
I probably now do most on the computer because actually my mobile there's something wrong with it because if the SIM card or something's burst.
And if it's damaged?
See, that's got all my memory, that's got all my phone numbers, text messages, that's got everything on it.
This Get It is about SIM cards. Every mobile phone has a SIM card inside, and it's one of the things which makes your mobile phone light and easy to carry around. In other words, mobile. It looks like this. It's a small, delicate circuit board inside your phone, normally under the battery. When you buy a new phone, they usually put the SIM card in the shop, which is just as well because they're easily damaged. Now, if you really want to know, the letters SIM in SIM stand for Subscriber Identification Module. That might come in handy in a quiz sometime. The SIM card in your phone contains information about your identity, like your name, how you pay for your calls, and a list of saved phone numbers. It's amazing, really, how much information is contained in that little card. Because the card has your information on it, it makes things really easy when you get a new phone. You just take the SIM card out of your old phone, put it in your new one, and bingo. All that information is now available on your new phone. No need to type all those phone numbers in again.
Hello, Antonio. My name's Johnny. I was just wondering what kind of things do I need to take for this survival day I'm going to come on.
Before starting the course, Johnny phoned Antonio to find out what groundwork he needed to do. Antonio asked him to gather some sticks to be used to create tools to make a fire. Johnny went looking in the woods in Selbridge.
The kind of wood I was told to look for was something that's not rotten, which this pretty much is.
He gave Johnny guidelines on how to make sure the wood was suitable. Using his nail, he had to check that the wood was not too fresh.
So I think something like this would be perfect because there's absolutely no leaves and there doesn't seem to be much life about it, like so. Here, should be about a foot long, so my mint stick, just break it there, get to strip a bit of the bark off and run your nail down so you can see that there is a line there. So it's not too thick and it's not too shallow. I have absolutely no clue how many sticks I need to get, so I'm actually going to ring Antonio now and find out. But first, what I'm going to do, because I know with my head I'm going to lose this, go in the phone book Going to add name, put in Antonio.
Having added Antonio to his phone book, Johnny phoned him to check how much wood he needed. He also took the chance to confirm a date for the course.
I'll probably be chatting to you before that. All right. Good luck. Bye bye. And yeah, so the 6th. So what I'm going to do now is put a reminder on my phone. I'm just after getting a text message. It's from Antonio. It says I want to see you before 9, so that's an early start for me.
Would you believe that in Ireland today, over 90% of people own a mobile phone and over 1.5 billion text messages are sent every year? Today's reading tip is about reading text messages. When someone sends you a text message from their phone, it arrives in the inbox of your phone. If you want to read it, you go to your inbox. Let's have a look at an example of a text message. It looks a bit strange, but if you try and say it out loud, it makes more sense. Want to see you before 9, okay? What has happened is that the person writing the message has taken a few shortcuts. WNT is the word want with the vowel A dropped out. The letter C has been used instead of writing the full word see, and the letter U instead of the word you. Numbers have been used to take a few different shortcuts. The number 2 has been used instead of the letters TO, and the number 9 instead of writing out the word. Now this one's interesting. Here, the letter B and the number 4 make the word before. As you get the hang of it, reading text messages becomes easier. It's just a case of getting used to this new way of communicating, and it always helps if you try reading the message aloud.
Antonio, I'm told that you've got a task for us. We've got to go into the forest and do something.
Well, you know, we got everything ready to light a fire,
Yep.
so I suggest we go and get some pine needles.
Grand, yeah.
And then
Pine
we can
needles.
we can make us a nice cup of tea later on.
Pine needle tea.
That's it.
What does that taste like then?
It'll taste lovely. You'll find out soon enough.
Oh, don't give us an
After you
idea
get the
before I go
needles.
out in there now with all these midges around up the deep dark forest. I want to know what it's going to taste like. Give us an idea. Is it minty? Is
I
it?
really couldn't tell you.
Oh God, the joy of
honestly.
surprising and discovering. Right, where do we go?
Well, you can go down the trail to the left and into that forest there. You'll find plenty of fresh pine needles there.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
See you later on.
See you.
I don't see too many pine needles around, to be perfectly honest.
No, I think that's
Unless we're going to have to climb higher and get them down. Tell me, what are you doing now at the moment, work-wise and all that kind of stuff?
So I'm working for a company called Cookson's Precious Metals, which we're a big jewellers, and what we do is we supply to all the smaller jewellers.
Oh, you're dealing with the trade then in that case?
Yeah.
You're not dealing with the likes of me, the ordinary punter.
No. Thanks for that.
And do you think if you hadn't gone and done the course... Actually, I want you to tell me a bit about the course. What was it like anyway?
Basically, what it does, it gets your reading and your spellings and all that kind of thing up to scratch, which it wouldn't have been. When I done my leaving cert, I would have probably had the reading age of maybe 14 or so.
Yeah.
And since then, I've got my reading age right up to what it should be now.
It's funny, and because in a way it sounds a bit contradictory, because you obviously have a lot of confidence because you're doing this.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And yet, when you were saying in your school days, you didn't have...
I wouldn't have had half the confidence I have.
So did the course help you? And if you hadn't done the course, would you be doing the job? Or would life be very different for you?
Well, I think it was the whole fact that I moved away from home and I was out of my comfort zone. I had to kind of make an effort to get to know people and kind of, get that confidence. But the confidence really came from the reading and not feeling that I was stupid anymore, because everybody...
Did you actually feel you were stupid?
Oh yeah, oh definitely. I thought because I couldn't read and everybody else could, and nobody else seemed to have that much of trouble with doing their homework or things like that there, I would have felt now that I was stupid in
But
school.
people didn't actually tell you were stupid, did they?
Well, teachers would have, but they wouldn't have said it in open to class, in front of everybody. They would have said it now after. I would have trouble doing my homework or whatever, and they would have held me back and given me punishment work and pretty much says, why can't you do it if everybody else in the class can do it no problem and you can't? Does that not tell you something, you know?
Do you think that doing the course has made a huge difference to your life? I mean, you've got your job now, you're
Yeah.
living, supporting yourself.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't done the course, would you be in this situation today?
The way I look at the course for Selbridge would be it saved my way of life, because now I'm more confident going into job interviews, whatever. For jobs, even for the type of job that I'd be looking for, I'd be going for decent jobs. The confidence has come on something seriously.
The midges in this place would drive you crazy at this time of year. Anyway, Johnny's gone way up into the forest to get more pine needles for our cup of tea, which I can't wait to taste. But it gives me an opportunity to tell you our free phone number once again. It's 1800 20 20 65. Go to a phone, your friend's phone, a public phone, it doesn't matter, but please dial us. The lines are open now. It's 1800 20 20 65. Give your details, your name, address, etc., etc. And we'll send you out a copy of the free Read Right Now workbook. Now, while I'm heading up there to find Johnny, you're going to learn all about contractions. You'll see what I mean in just a minute.
This week's spelling tip is about how we use apostrophes to shorten words. An apostrophe looks like this and is used when we push words together to make them shorter. These are called contractions. Let's look at some examples. You can see that these words, it's, he'll and your, all have something in common. They've all got an apostrophe in the middle to show that some letters are missing. So, if we move the letters of it's apart at the apostrophe and put in an I, we get two words, it and is. The second example has more than one letter missing, and if we put them back in, we get that he'll is the short form of the two words he will. Finally, we can see that the apostrophe in your replaces the A in you are. Some more common examples are do not, which is shortened to don't, could not, couldn't, she is, she's, and you would, you'd. We use these shortened forms all the time when we're speaking, but be careful of using them when you're writing. They're not really suitable for something like a formal letter, but they're fine for a letter to a friend. While Derek and Johnny were gathering pine needles, Antonio laid the fire.
Sorry about that. I'm not sure we've actually got enough pines anyway.
Should do it.
For the tea.
However, he left the tricky bit for Johnny, getting an ember to set the sticks alight.
Talk about two primitive hunter-gatherers here. Anyway, we're going into the tent. We're going to have the pine needle tea, and you can have a look back at what we covered in today's programme.
In this week's programme, our reading tip was about reading text messages, and our writing tip was about writing them. We saw how text messages often use shortcuts by dropping vowels to make words shorter, or you can use numbers or single letters instead of part of a word or even a full word. Our spelling tip was about another way of taking shortcuts when we use an apostrophe to shorten phrases like it is to it's or do not to don't. And for our Get It, it was back to mobile phones again when we learned how information like your name, saved phone numbers and how you pay your mobile bill is stored on your SIM card. Putting his new skills to work, Johnny gave making fire another go, but this time with success.
You got an ember. Look at that. Careful now, careful. Put it in a tinder bundle. Form a little bit of a nest around the ember. Okay, don't squeeze or anything. Okay, go. Make sure it doesn't spread, and just gently blow with it. Very gently at first, and when it starts glowing harder, you can blow harder.
And with the fire came refreshments, just to bring the day to a close.
Thank you very much, Antonio. My pine needle tea in a homemade mug. So how's the day been for you, Johnny?
Oh, it's been good. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Another new experience for you.
Oh, big time. I wouldn't have done anything like this before.
And what about not having the creature comforts of home?
Well, it'll make me appreciate them an awful lot more.
All right. Well, the fire is smoking away here, and after this I'm going to head back to the smoke of the city. But next week I'll be with Patricia Penrose and her family on Carlingford Lough, and they're going to make a raft. And hopefully it's not going to sink on the water. They're going out on the raft. So I'm looking forward to that. In the meantime, boys, best of luck. Thanks for taking part in the programme. Thanks, Antonio. And to you at home, cheers until next week. It's brutal.
Now